Hi, John Flynn, how are you? Being a resource, I know I've talked about this before, but it's such a key issue. It's so important. It's a bedrock of what you do on all levels. So I'm going to bring it up yet again, just to hammer it home. So, personal injury lawyers dealing with car accidents. It's so important that in the forefront of your mind that you remember that your number one is that you're a resource to the community. Okay, you're a resource. So when somebody is in a car accident, there's some basic issues that they want to have addressed immediately. All right, and those issues is things like lost wages. Right, how are they going to recoup lost wages if they have medical injuries? Who's going to pay for their medical bills? Do they pay them out of pocket? Does the insurance company pay for them? What is the protocol with that? Who's going to fix their car? How do they do that? Do they take it to an insurance company adjuster to do that? Is there a private person to take it to? What is the protocol with that? These key questions like that and other key questions are the things on their mind when they contact a personal injury lawyer who deals with car accidents. So they want those questions answered right away. So what you need to do is to be proactive on that. So what you could do is that you could put out information, right, either on YouTube, on a podcast. Seriously recommend a podcast these days. It's a great medium, right? It's 1/10 as crowded as YouTube's right now. It's, to me, the new blog, and I think it's really gets a lot of traction. So we'll cover that later. But podcasting is really big right now. Put it on your site. So if they put their email in, they get a cheat sheet, right? They get a cheat sheet of all the things they need to do if they get in a car accident, right? And have your advertising, marketing, SEO, and paid advertising, go to that information, or have an ad saying, here are the things that you need to know. So in the Facebook advertising program that I've talked about that you should be doing, right, this is on another video and another podcast, but basically the perpetual Facebook ad program you should be doing is you should have a long Facebook ad, long Facebook video, right, like 3-4 minutes, and you should go into all these things. So you go, hi, my name's John Flynn. I'm a personal injury lawyer dealing with car accidents. These are the major issues that when people come to me that they want to have addressed when they are in a car accident. How they should handle the situation of lost wages. And then you talk for a minute on that. And then in the issue of medical bills, and you talk for a minute on that. And then you talk for car repair, you talk for a minute on that. So after you talk for like 3-4 minutes on these issues, we're going to have a audience that has watched that video for at least 25%. So Facebook, we could back out all the retargeting for the people who've watched that video 25%, and then we could take that off audience and retarget it. So that'd be a pretty good audience that we think that have expressed interest in car accidents one way or the other. So then we could retarget that audience with another issue regarding car accidents, and then we could retarget that with the pitch of, hey, go to my site, sign up for the cheat sheet, and then leave your name for a free consultation. Okay? Now, the other thing too is that with the free consultation, right, is that, and this is also another video on too that really bugs me, is that a lot of people, we do all this work, right, or people use lead programs that they pay money for per lead, and then they never call the lead. I've done this. I've put my name and number into a lawyer, that I wanted information from for a particular specialty, and nobody's called me back. I don't know how much that lawyer paid for that lead, but I bet it was a significant amount of money. So we have programs like Candidly and other programs that are great out there, is that that the prospect puts their information in, and you can actually ask qualified questions like, have you been in an accident in the last year? Have you seen a doctor? Things like that. 2 or 3 questions to qualify the prospect. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with qualifying the prospect. And that way you're not wasting your time. And you could separate yourself. You could value yourself. You don't talk to everybody in the world. You could value yourself, and then that person signs up on a calendar within the program, and then you're all set. And that person calls you on the phone, right? You're not wasting your time chasing people. I love that program. Calendly is called, and you could look it up. You could use it yourself. Calendly. You could plug it right into your website. All right, or you could send it on a link. So if somebody signs up on your website, you could have your email program send it right to a link, and then you could set it up yourself and put it on there. It's a great program. I think it has a free part of it, or $12 a month, and it's more than worth it. And that way, you don't do anything. You get a notification that Jimmy's going to call you Tuesday 3. And you get the qualified questions. So it's great. So it's like you're all set to go. So you could ask as many or as little questions as you want. You could try it out. You could do A/B testing to see how that works out for you. But in the sense that you're always a resource. So if you're, in a situation where, you should have a YouTube channel. You should always be putting resource on there, a podcast. You should always, put a cheat sheet on. You should be gathering emails, sending stuff to your email list. You should always be a resource in putting stuff out there. It comes back tenfold, believe me, tenfold. I've had people call me a year later thanking me. I've had people take me to lunch. I've had people call me and come to Boston and take me to lunch, right? And I'm like, okay. To me, I didn't really do anything. I just told them what I thought. But to them, it was a big deal, and that's great, So, but be a resource. Don't be afraid to give away knowledge, okay? It just comes back tenfold, okay? It'll work out for you, believe me. So, any questions, let me know. John Flynn, Copley Advertising.